As triathletes, we train in any available pool and we seldom race in them. But still, it's good to know if your pool is slowing you down. So, are some pools slower, and how do you know if your pool is a slow one? If you've hung out with swimmers for any length of time, you'll be familiar with their obsession with slow pools and fast pools. Every pool that has ever been swum in has been designated either fast or slow, and often this is just subjective and subject to healthy debate within the group or squad on whether this pool is fast or slow. But there are factors that affect whether a pool is fast or slow and how fast you swim in it. So let's look at what these factors are and whether your pool might be a fast pool or a slow pool. You can generally assume that if your pool is advertised as 25 meter or 50 meter, that whoever built it measured it correctly, and it is actually 50 meters or 25 meter. This is not actually always the case. I remember a particular Swiss Olympic gold medalist at a training camp once who actually came to the pool with a ruler 30 centimeters long and proceeded through a painstaking process of flipping the ruler to measure the length of the pool and verify that in fact our pool was not actually 25 meters. But dodgy Thailand pools aside, you can assume that 25 meter pool is 25 meters. But a 25 meter pool will be faster than a 50 meter pool. This is because of the mini breaks that the extra turns afford your working muscles and the pushes off the wall, making it slightly faster. The difference is not massive, but a 50 meter pool will be slower than a 25 meter pool. The depth of a pool also affects how fast it is. An Olympic competition pool is 3 meters or 10 feet deep. And this is not just a random number. This is because this is the optimal depth for speed. Any shallower than that, and the turbulence created by the swimmer actually bounces off the floor and can slow you down. You may feel faster swimming in a shallow pool where it feels like the floor is rushing along underneath you, but you'll probably actually swim slower. Generally, calmer water means faster swimming. But a deeper pool that's deeper than 3 meters can also be slower because a swimmer needs that perspective of the floor moving underneath them to pace themselves well, and they may swim slower if the floor is further away from them. Also, if you have a pool that slopes from shallow to deep, the angle of that slope and the water bouncing back off you can also slow you down. As we've already said, smooth pools equal fast pools. So anything that reduces the waves and turbulence caused by a swimmer will increase the speed of the pool. New technical lane ropes do a great job at absorbing and suppressing those waves and turbulence created by a swimmer, and therefore increase the speed of the pool. If your pool simply has a couple of strings with a few floats on it separating the lanes, it probably won't be very fast. Also, modern pools are built with level decking and gutters, which help absorb the waves as they come to the side of the pool, helping reduce the turbulence in the pool and keep the pool calm. Conversely, if your pool has level walls that extend a few inches above the side of the pool, that's going to cause waves to bounce backwards and forwards all over the pool, increasing the turbulence, decreasing the calmness, and slowing your pool down. The official temperature of a competition pool is between 78 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit, or 25.5 and 26.5 degrees Celsius. And this is pretty strictly adhered to, even though it's a narrow margin. Any colder than this and it affects your body's ability to perform as your muscles tense up and breathing becomes harder. But any warmer than this also affects your body's ability to perform, as your body can't dissipate heat in the water. Sweating is ineffective, and overheating is definitely going to lead to you swimming slower. So if your pool is a little bit too warm or a little bit too cold, it's probably a slow pool. Personally though, I'd take a slower pool that's warmer. That's just personal preference though. All pools require a filtration system and a circulation system to get this water flowing through that purification system. But how this is set up can make a big difference to the speed of your pool. Technically advanced competition pools filter the water without creating too much of a current. But less advanced pools generally do this simply by creating a circular flow of water. This means that on one side of the pool, you're going to get an up current. On the other side of the pool, the current's going to be flowing the other direction. And much like a stiff wind on the bike, you don't gain as much when you go with the current as you lose when you go against the current. So a pool with a current is always going to be slower. On the subject of cleaning, The quality of the water can also affect the speed of the pool. A pool where the chemicals are slightly off can cause a dry mouth or make you feel uncomfortable, which can affect your ability to breathe and slow you down. Similarly, the air quality is also going to affect the speed that you can swim, because if it's giving off chemicals, especially near the surface of the pool, or you're in a room that doesn't have good circulation, you'll find it that much harder to breathe, and given the importance of breathing when you're swimming, it's definitely going to slow you down. Even if all these variables are controlled for and you are swimming in the optimal pool, swimmers will still label that pool as either fast or slow, normally just based on perception or their own subjective experience of swimming in that pool. The reality is, it doesn't really matter. You can do your tri training in any pool that is suitable. But it is nice to know that if your pool has some of these less than optimal characteristics, that you might actually be swimming faster in reality and in your race than maybe you are in training. So have you been swimming in a less than optimal pool? What is the worst pool you've ever swum in? We'd love to hear in the comment section down below. We hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, hit the thumbs up to support the channel, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos. Thanks for watching.